Hi everyone, I'm Jess from Sew Unique Fabrics and welcome to the 2019 Tami Revolutions Sew Along. Day one is about getting ourselves prepped and organised, ready to start sewing on day two. So if you haven't already purchased the pattern, I suggest that you probably need to. Once you've got your pattern, print out your pattern, whether you print it out on A4 or you're going to print it out at Officeworks or your local print shop in A0. Once you've got that all printed and put together, we need to select what size you are going to make. So take your measurements, you may already have those jotted down, chest measurements, waist and hip measurement. It is a slim fit hoodie, so if you're wanting a more relaxed fit, it is recommended to size up one size. So I measured a double extra small across my chest, my waist and my hips measured an extra small. And what I did was, rather than grading those sizes, I just went a straight extra small. It gives me a little bit more room up my top area, and that means, if I need to layer, then I can. I've got that extra room. And plus, me personally, I don't really want a tighter fitting jumper or jacket. So I like things a little bit looser. So totally personal choice. Once you've measured yourself and you've selected your size, the next thing to do is we're going to choose the variations that we're going to make. So it has 3 different hoodies. You've got a standard hood, a double hood and a crossover hood. For this sew along, we're going to be doing the standard hood. You've also got 2 zips, so you can do a zip up front, so it's more like a jacket, or you can do the jumper and it's got a shoulder accent zip, or you can choose to do no zip at all. But today we're going to be doing the zip up front. We've also got 2 different cuff variations. You've got thumb hole cuffs, and then you've also got just your standard cuff that you can choose. We're going to go with the thumb hole cuff just because it is a little bit different. The standard cuffs, if you want to, then you're most welcome to just do the standard cuffs also. There's also 2 different pocket variations. We've got side pockets, or you can have the kangaroo front pocket. So in this one, we're going for side pockets. So once you've got your pattern out, I've traced all mine onto some trace and toil. I've labelled it, making sure that when you've traced your pattern that you are putting in any markings from the pattern directly onto your pattern piece, so that those markings can then be transferred to your fabric, because you need those markings in preparation and for sewing. So once we've got all that organised, we need to make sure that you've got everything you need. So you'll need a zip. For the ladies version, it recommends a 28-inch zip. I personally didn't get a 28-inch because I knew it was going to be far too long. So why buy a 28-inch when I was going to cut a few inches off it? So I just got myself a slightly smaller one, and I didn't need to cut and trim too much off that. To go with my zip, I used some wash away quilters tape. It's great, it's double-sided, it's quick and easy to put on, it washes away once it goes through the wash, and it's great to stabilize your zip onto your fabric before you're sewing it. So if you've never sewn a zip before, zips in the fabric do tend to move a fair bit when you're sewing, so this just helps stabilize it. So it's a great idea to have it, to keep it on hand. You'll need a little bit of interfacing if you're going to add your eyelets, just to protect the back of your fabric and to stabilize that as well. With your eyelets, you'll also need some drawstring. So I've got the 5.5 meter eyelets. Okay, so once you've got the eyelets, you also need to make sure that you've got the tool to go with it and just a hammer to bang them in. Once you've got all that, picking your fabric. Choosing the fabric for your front and your arms, you need to choose a fabric that's got at least 25% stretch. So if you look on page 4 of the tutorial, there is a stretch gauge on there. You just need to get yourself a 4-inch piece of fabric you stretch it against the gauge, making sure that you're reaching at least 25%. If it's not quite there, I recommend that you don't use it and find a fabric that's got that 25% stretch. For your cuff bands and your bottom band, it's recommended that you find or use fabric that's got at least 50% stretch, so ribbing, or I've just used cotton lycra and it's definitely got my 50% stretch. So I've used French terry, that's got 25% horizontal, it's a bit more than 25% horizontal stretch, and then I've used cotton lycra for my bands that has over the 50% stretch. So we've got to get started because it is a super full-on day. Now I'm not going to videotape myself tracing all my pattern and cutting it all out, because you all need to be cutting and doing it yourself rather than watching me. So just remember to transfer all the notches and everything else from the pattern onto your trace and toil if you're using it that way. Pop them, transfer all of that as well onto your fabric. Have your pieces ready to go, ready to start sewing from day 2. If you head over to the Sew Unique Fabrics group, there'll be a post up each day, and each day pop a photo of whatever we're sewing today, what you have sewn in the sew along for that day, and there'll be a random draw at the end of the day or early the next day to choose a random winner to win some goodies from Sew Unique Fabrics. So my fabric I'm choosing, I've chosen the purple plaid in French terry, and I'm just going to pair that with a very simple black cotton lycra for my bands, and I've got a black zip. So you could even just post a picture of the fabric that you're going to start cutting. You can post a picture today of the you cut out pieces, just to show us that you're joining in and we're going to have some fun, and we're going to make you a hoodie to get ready for this cooler weather that we're experiencing here in Australia. So I hope everyone has an awesome day 1 and ready to start sewing for day 2. So I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.